guys, it's Laura, and today we are going to do a foundation declutter. Alright guys, so I have 9 foundations here that I want to go through. I don't need 9 foundations, and I know that some of them I'm not even using, so what is the point of keeping them? Let's get rid of them. So I've kind of fallen into a trend in my foundations and what I like in a foundation, and it has vastly changed, so let's go ahead and go through these. First up, we have the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation, and I have this in LW2. This one I am going to keep. Not only am I almost out, but I absolutely love this foundation. It's just enough to even out the skin tone without making you look too cakey. Now this one, I don't really care for the packaging because without a pump, how much are you really going to be able to get down in this? But as far as the product itself, I do like this one, so it's definitely a keep. Next up, we have the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This one I have in the shade 00A Porcelain. This one I am going to get rid of. While it does have a pump, this one just didn't blow me away, and I think part of that is because I do have a shade that is wrong for me, but it's not something I wanted to go and spend more money on to get a different shade. Now that being said, the Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer, I absolutely love this, but the foundation is just a no for me, so this one we're going to go ahead and get rid of. Now this is going to be another full coverage foundation. This is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage, and I have this in the shade 110 Porcelain. This is the hardest foundation for me to find my right shade. I bought like 3 or 4 of these trying to find a shade match for me, and I could not do it. And with this one, the coverage is so high that it matters what shade you have, because it is going to emphasize your texture on your skin, and it's going to be very noticeable if it's not the right shade. Again, this one does have a pump, but it's just a cakey mess on me, and being the wrong shade, I just don't ever use it, so there's no point in keeping it. Alright, let's go to another one. This is the CoverGirl Plus Olay Advanced Radiance. Now this is the Advanced Radiance, not the Simply Ageless. This one I have in the shade 105 Ivory. I have done a review on this one. This one is one that I'm going to keep because again, it's that lighter coverage, just enough to even out the skin without being heavy or cakey or itchy. And I also like the packaging on this one. Not only does it have the pump, but it has that system where it's going to be bringing it up as you go, so you're going to get as much product as possible out of this. This one is great. It is definitely a keep. So let's take it back a little bit. This is one of the first foundations I used, and it is the Revlon Color Stay for normal to dry skin. I do have the shade 130 Porcelain. Again, it does have a pump, but it is that thicker, more full coverage foundation that I'm just not into anymore. This one, it does look nice, but it can also look cakey as well, and that is a look I'm trying to move away from, so this one is going to be let go. The next foundation is going to be one that is a toss-up. I have gone back and forth with this one. I liked it, I didn't. I liked it, I didn't. It's time to just get rid of it. There are foundations that I am using that I like to use, that I like to reach for, and this is just not one of them. And it is the e.l.f. Flawless It's the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, and I have it in the shade Natural, which was previously Porcelain. It does have a pump. It is cute packaging, and while it does have a nice finish, for me, when I sweat in this one, it emphasizes my pores and they turn orange. It's not a good look, and being here in Alabama where it's quite hot and you sweat often, this was not a good look for me, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Next up, we have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. I have the shade 201 Classic Ivory. Can you guess? Yes, this is going to definitely be a keep. It is that lighter, thinner consistency that has just enough, again, for to even out that skin tone, but not look too cakey. The one downside to this one is it's a squeezy tube. There's no pump, there's no doe foot applicator, it's just a squeezy tube. But as for the product itself, I do like it, so it's definitely a keep. Next up, we have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation in Shell Ivory. Now this one, again, just like the Maybelline one that I showed you earlier, shade definitely matters because of the coverage on this. The coverage on this is, wow, is impactful. Again, not really what I'm looking for. And I know they have a new one that has a dewy finish. I am curious on that, and I will need a different shade. This shade was not the right one for me. This one does not have a pump or a doe foot. It has more of a spatula applicator. But I just found that the formula was a little too thick for me, and being again that it wasn't the right shade, it emphasized and stood out. So this one we're gonna go ahead and pass on. Alright guys, we are down to the last foundation, and this is going to be the Flower Beauty Light Illusion in the shade Nude L3. Guys, this is the one I've been using pretty much every day the last few weeks. I absolutely love this foundation as far as the formula and how it looks on the skin. But not only that, this Nude L3 shade I've fallen in love with because I have neutral to warm undertones. This one does well. It actually has more of that yellow undertone to it, and I just find that I really like that shade. It is what I'm wearing today. It gives you that color to the skin that just looks healthy. The formula is thin, so you're not going to be too cakey, but it does help to even out some of those flaws. Now, if you have a lot to cover, then this isn't going to be the one, but if you're just trying to do a little bit of something, try this foundation. Now, I will say Flower Beauty has become a little bit hard to find. It's no longer in the Walmarts I find, and for this foundation, Ulta only has 4 shades. So you are probably going to have to go to the Flower Beauty website, which can be a little bit of a pain, but for this foundation, it's worth it. Give it a try. So let's do an overview, guys. Out of 9 foundations, remember we started with 9, I'm keeping 4 and I'm getting rid of 5. I feel pretty good about that. It gives me more space because I am limited on my storage, and it makes room for new. So let me know if you've tried any of these foundations and what you thought of them. Leave me a comment. Subscribe if you are not already. Hit that like button. Come find me on social media and leave me a comment there, and I will see you next time.